Welcome to the Art Remedy podcast, powered by the amazing, the creative Detox Art. I'm your host and the artist behind Detox Art, Brittany Simone, but you can just call me Brit for short. I'm here embarking on a new journey. I feel in my heart that the message of peace of mind and relaxation through the arts would only be better impacted if I share space with amazing people that I've come across on my journey. This podcast is going to serve as a transparent space, as a friendly space, as a space to grow closer to different forms of art, redefining what art is, better understanding art as a tool, right? A means of expression, a means of it's for everybody. I feel that during my time vending and having showcases and just, sharing my art as a business, it's been heartbreaking to hear people say certain things. So I really would like this podcast to debunk and inspire. Debunk things like only art is for artists. We'll get into that. Understanding that everyone has a gift. Redefining what art is and what art is supposed to look like, feel like. Redefining self-care. Providing alternative spaces for relaxation and self-expression. Self-exploration. Self-soothing, right? The Art Remedy is more that meets the eye, and I hope that these conversations, when I have them with some amazing people, that they inspire. But before we dive into their story, when I was little, I had a whole plan. I knew that I was going to have a business. I knew that I was going to be an artist or I'd do something artsy. I just knew. I still today have the vision of the space that I'm going to own and operate in. It's coming. I just knew that I was meant to be an artist. I remember coloring on the apartment floor of Summerland Heights in Virginia. I remember the carpet. I remember the crayons. I remember building people out of letter-sized paper. Like anything I can get my hands on, it was art. And then as I got older, as life shifted and I evolved, I moved into fashion design. Ironically, I stopped drawing once I got into the fashion industry. I found that I was so focused on making it in New York that I lost that sense of myself. And I did not know this until my dad passed away. And it was through grieving for this amazing man that I realized I used sketching in my sketchbook as a way to pour out my feelings, the heaviness. It was through this daily practice that I'm like, when was the last time I've drawn? Like I don't play in my art anymore. My art, I viewed it as my job. Like, oh, I'm, sketching bodies all day, but it wasn't fulfilling. And better knowing myself through sketching, it's like I saw myself on paper and I saw myself filling back up with joy and life. And I didn't feel so empty and depleted because, mind you, the job was driving me crazy. But literally the people in my sketchbook are the only things that kept me afloat at that job. I wanted to leave so bad. It was the act of sketching, like during my travels to the city. It was just like this memory inside my body, like, let's go draw. And I remember during this time, I decided to start taking my full break. I said, no longer will I keep myself sitting at this desk, staying late, and not even taking time to be with myself. So I would take my sketchbook and my lunch, sit in the kitchen, and for the full hour, absolutely the full hour, I would sit down and I would have a moment of creativity while eating my food. And I felt like that was a routine that I had to keep doing to keep myself sane enough to stay there and have this job. I was ridiculed for taking my break. I was criticized, why would you take your full hour? Like everyone else is working. And what does that have to do with me? I listened to myself. The awareness of my mind and the anxious feelings of my body, I knew I didn't want anymore. Looking back, I literally would have lost it. I would have gone off on somebody had I not had this pivot in life that brought me back to sketching. Back to something that was so sacred to me that I did not care about how other people saw it. So I took my break. And if someone had a problem with it, so be it. Because guess what? At the end of the day, if you want to break it down mathematically, this is what I make per hour No one's paying me extra, so I'm taking my break. Period. And it was during those moments, I just knew I had to just keep going. I had to keep challenging myself. And after I finished like my first notebook, I was having a conversation with my mom, and I was like, oh, I wish I could do something, with the sketches. Like, I don't really want to color it. Maybe I just give it to Eva. And she, Eva, my little sister, at the time, she was very small. So I was like, maybe I could just sketch it and just give it to her and she can color it. Like, I really don't want to color it. She should color it. And when I say light bulb moment, that was the moment I was like, I'm going to turn my sketches into a coloring book. And this was a time when we weren't anywhere. Us beautiful Black women, were not on the shelves. I decided in that moment that I was going to make a coloring book. That's the time when I could not find products for my hair, and it was a tough time trying to get this fro. And she was bigger. Like, my fro was like 5 times the size of this, but it was a hard time for just care for my hair, seeing myself in these different ways. When I was doing research, finding the coloring books, I made sure, I was like, oh no, we going all out, honey. I want people to be able to use markers. I want them to be able to tear it out and display. I want this whole creative art moment. I want to take something that I really did not like as a child. That paper, you feel that paper growing up? I was like, I don't want that. I want to give my supporters the best experience, because I want us to feel like the kings and the queens we are when they touch this book. When they touch this book, I want them to feel the luxe, to feel the love that was made in this book, so they understand that I see you and this book was made for you. It took me so long to make that book, but when I tell you, curating something that came from pain to inspire someone of the next generation, to give a piece of your creativity and put it out in the world to be a tool, a resource of inspiration, just taking the time, not rushing it, right? Like, it's sad that I had to lose my dad to do something like that, but he brought me back to my childhood goals. Like, I completely forgot that I wanted to do something artsy with my life. I completely forgot that I wanted to be known. And when you pour your pain and frustration into things that are beautiful and will change the world, it is worth it. It's worth taking the leap. Creativity will bring you back to things that you forgot about. You will have those breakthrough moments that remind you of the goals that you had when you were little, because when you were little, you were fearless. You didn't have a care in the world. You knew anything and everything is possible, because it is. And I'm always hurting that it had to be the passing of someone that I love so much, that brought me back to my goal, to my core. And I see the path that I'm on, and if it wasn't for him and my mom and all they've done for me, I honestly don't even know like where I would be. Oh my gosh, I'm very thankful. That's just one of the heavy moments of my life, but art brought me back. Art brought me back to living, to seeing the beauty in life, to taking the leaps, putting yourself out there, to finding your voice, to finding your purpose, to understand how your passions can better impact the world, how devastation can uplift you and grow you in ways that you didn't even see coming, can open the door and unlock things in you that you forgot about. I hope and I pray that my dad, his spirit is all wrapped up in this message, because I'm so thankful for his life, for knowing him. I'm so thankful for everything that he's done and sacrificed for me to be where I was, because the path unfolded, and as it continues to evolve and grow, my mom and my dad are the reason why. Art is a tool for everybody. It's not just for the extra artsy folks. It's for everybody. And I hope this inspires you, and definitely keep tuning into the Art Remedy, because I have some amazing people coming. If you're stressed, color. If you're frustrated, Draw it out. If you need clarity, turn to art. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to find me online at Detox Art Official. Shop our amazing products. See yourself in our books. Support the platform. Help us grow. Share this with your loved ones. Stay creative so you can stay calm. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.